first up is their Ambergeddon, which is just a nice malty, easy drinking, session beer. It's not one of those. So, shall we?
Yeah, I think so.
When we say malty, there's still identifiable hops in this. It's got some nice citrusy hops in it. Not like their Hopalicious that many people know, but there's still identifiable hop character in it, and it's very West Coast, very citrusy.
But you do get a little sweet malt behind the hops, Yep. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little caramel malt in there.
Wow, it's been a long time since I've had one of those. That's part of why I picked it as our first one. It's like, I don't think I've had an Ambergeddon in a long time. It's a very refreshing beer.
Yeah.
Especially as we move into a little bit of spring hope anyways.
Yeah, it's a little cool outside, but we might try to do one beer tasting outside. And
we did a lot of beer tasting outside here in the early episodes after when we realized we didn't have enough light inside to make it work. So
what are you getting on the flavor on this one?
There's a nice greeny maltiness right up front. A little bit of hop flavor, not much, but just a touch of the nice vegetable hop flavor in the middle. And then this actually does finish fairly bitter. I mean, there's identifiable bitterness in this. It's not, it's not a pale ale or like that at all. But this is the good introductory, micro craft beers that I remember from first getting involved in it 30 years ago. Oh my goodness, it's been a long time drinking craft beer.
Well, it's better than drinking craft beer.
That's true. And I've done certainly my share of that, but it's been a long time. I am graduated that I don't do that at all anymore.
And I'm catching just a little bit of, like you're saying, that West Coast grapefruit hop flavor, and then the bitterness does linger a little bit.
Yeah, it's
so
nice.
I kind of get the hop flavor, then the malt, a little bit of graininess, like you said, and then a little bit of a bitter finish.
Some of the, it reminds me a lot of some of the very early craft beers that were coming out. Even Sierra Nevada, when it first came out, was not that different. And this is actually not a bad, not that far off from the Sierra Nevada. It's a little lighter probably than the Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, but it's in that same range. And can't beat the freshness. It's traveled the whole,
So would you consider this more of like an American Pale Ale or an American Amber? Probably more of an American Pale just because of the hop quality.
Yeah, I mean usually the American Pale Ale, American Amber. Amber isn't really a style. It's a color description, and it's a good way to get people who are interested in trying it. Amber is a nice, warm, fuzzy kind of feeling. And you say Pale Ale, and people hear that ale word and they kind of go, ooh. So just calling it an amber is easy to go with, and the ambers do tend to be more malt forward and a little less bitter. Although they go within the range. Depends on where you are, but very much in the West Coast tradition here.
Yeah, almost like a West Coast red ale kind of.
Yeah, it's not quite.
Not quite as hoppy though, right?
Yeah, and those go all over the map as well. I love this. This is just really great.
Yeah, it's really tasty. So if it's your first time at the Asylum, this might be a pretty good starter beer.
Absolutely, a nice way to get an introduction to what they do.
Excellent. Well,
cheers, Jeremy.